Today we're going over the Raptor 362. Start off taking a look down here. These are where your propane tanks are going to be stored. Twist to the left to open them, twist to the right to close them, and then to switch between the tanks, just flip this black valve here, point it to whatever tank you want to use. This will turn green when there's gas in the line. So if you had your tanks open and this were to turn back to red, that's, you know, that tank's empty. Got your generator right over here. You can start this from the inside on your panel, but if that panel were to go out, you can take this panel off, and there's a start-stop switch right there. And then right here we have your docking light switches. These are the lights that are on your front cap, so if I have to turn them off, then you can see that these blue LEDs are now off, as well as the lighting for your jacks. So that's what those blue lights are. This is where your batteries will be stored. And then you have your leveling panel right here. To turn it on, press the power button. And then to raise the front, simply press front. To lower the front, hit retract front. You can do that with the left, the right, and the rear when you're in manual mode. To get to manual mode, you can go to up arrow, manual level, and you hit enter. Then you can individually adjust the left, rear, and the right jacks. Next one is auto retract. That's going to run all the jacks all the way up when you press enter. And then auto hitch. So basically when you get to your campsite and you're off your truck, you're going to hit auto level. That's going to level your unit all the way out. Then you can put your slides and everything out, and then do your camping. And then once you're done, close the slides back up, and then you come out here and you use auto hitch. That's going to return it to the last place it was before you pressed auto level. So theoretically it should be within a couple inches of where your truck was at, so that you can just hook right back up and get out of here. So we can explain that to you in a little bit more depth and actually show you everything moving and how it moves when you come for your pickup date. Usually makes more sense when you see it in person. Open up this area. We've got your pass-through storage. Your inverter's tucked up right here on the wall. The inverter is what's going to run your residential fridge while you're driving down the road. So that converts your battery power from 12 volt over to 120 volts so that the fridge runs, and usually it runs a couple outlets close to the fridge as well. To the right is your water bay. Try and get this hose out of the way so you can see. Alright, so to use this, if you have a spigot on your site, so say there's a spigot over there, you're going to hook your hose to it, run it to the unit, and then you'll hook into city fill right here. Make sure this knob is on normal flow, and make sure your winterize is in the off position, and then you will turn your water on, and that's going to run water straight to your faucets inside. So once you have water hooked into here and turned on, you'll have water at all your taps inside. So that's how that works. Really simple. I do like to get a pressure regulator for the end of my hose, because usually if you're staying in a campground, the pressure that they have on the sites is pretty high. You don't want that to blow your water lines out. If you need to fill your fresh tank up, say you're staying somewhere that doesn't have that direct water hookup, you fill up your tank when you get there. Let me turn this to fill. Use the same connection, but instead of this running water to the faucets, now it's going to run water into your fresh tank. And you can watch how full that's getting from the inside on your panel. It's going to have tank level monitors. That way you know when to turn that water off. Go over the winterize connections towards the end of the video. This one is your tank flush for your black tank. Black tank's the holding tank for your toilet. So when you're draining your black tank out, you can hook a hose into here, turn the water on, that shoots water into the black tank, helps rinse it out. To close the black tanks, push in. To open, pull out. So black, again, toilet tank. Gray is sinks and showers. I like to drain my black tank first. That way when I drain my gray, it helps to rinse the end of my sewer hose out. Other things in here, we have the Zamp Solar. Plug in there if you want to add an additional solar panel to set out on the side here to charge your batteries. And then you have the cable and satellite connections right there, as well as your low point drains. Those have to do with winterizing, and I'll go over those later on as well. To the right, we have your on-demand water heater. So to turn it on, there's a switch right here. What this does is turns your panel on inside that actually controls the temperature and turning on and off the water heater. So what this switch is doing is just turning that panel on. And then you do the rest of the controls from the inside. You do have a pressure relief valve here if you ever needed to let the pressure off your water heater for some reason, or you just wanted to drain water through the water heater, you can do it from there. To the right side here is your furnace exhaust. This does get hot, so don't touch it if the furnace is running, as well as your generator exhaust down there. Same thing, don't touch it if the gen's running. Down there is that sewer exit, all gonna come out right there. You do have a little sewer hose holder tucked up underneath the frame here too, which is nice. You do have another tank pull back there. My guess would be that's for the kitchen sink. So you pull that out, and that's going to drain that kitchen sink holding tank, which is another gray tank. And then on the other side of the unit, that white thing sticking out of the bottom of your floor is the fresh tank drain. It's also a pull valve, so you just pull it towards yourself, and that will open it up. It's a quick drain, so about 30 seconds you'll drain the entire fresh tank out, which is really nice. And yes, that is the gray tank for the kitchen sink. That's tucked back here. Kind of see that pull handle behind your jack there. Tires will be filled, lug nuts will be checked when you come and pick up. And back here we've got, all right, with this now open, you can see that you got two fuel fills here. This is the auxiliary fuel fill, and this is the generator fuel fill. So the auxiliary one's gonna fill up that tank, so you can use this fuel hose here to fill up, say, a side-by-side or a quad or a dirt bike. And then you got the regular you got the generator fuel fill right there. So that's just the two separate tanks. And then to use this fuel hose here, you turn your fuel pump on, and then you can run this hose into the gas tank of your vehicle. So you use that. We'll head around the back here. These are vents for the garage. I'll show you how to open those. These stairs, they just fold up and then tuck underneath the frame. Mini fridge, this will run when the unit's plugged in. So if you're going to keep your food cold, I would suggest you use the fridge inside while you're driving down the road. Temperature adjustments, top right corner here. Outside TV, outside speakers right here. These stairs actually flip right into the door frame of the unit. And then you can adjust the leg height by pressing these metal tabs in, and then you can pull the legs down or push them up. Just make sure when you're adjusting the leg height that this metal here is flush with this metal here. Otherwise, when you close the door, the bottom metal of your door strikes the stair and can bend the door, and you don't want that. Two outlets right there, tank vent, and then in here is your built-in vacuum hoses. On the wall here is the solar charge controller. That's regulating how much solar is taken in by the panels. So if your batteries are fully charged already, then this controller knows to not take in any more power, because it's not good to continuously charge the batteries for no reason. So solar charges the batteries, and when your unit is plugged in, then the batteries are charging as well. Same thing when your 7-way's hooked up to your tow vehicle. So this panel I'm showing you right now is basically the brains of your unit. So you have your panel inside that you can control your slides, awnings, and jacks from, but if that panel were to ever go out, you can come here and use this as sort of a backup. So you have these selector dials here, and they're labeled awning 1, awning 2, right jack, rear jacks and front jacks, and then off. You just leave these in the off position, obviously, when you're not using them. Hopefully you never have to use them. And then on the right side are your slide out selectors, so you can run those in and out, or you can run your jacks and awnings in and out, or up and down. So that's where you do that if something were to ever go wrong. So it is nice to have a fail-safe. And then in here is your hydraulic reservoir and hydraulic pump. Just want to make sure that these fittings stay tight. Sometimes while you're going down the road, they do loosen up, and then you just come in here and check for leaks. If you see any red fluid dripping out, just tighten down those fittings, and usually that fixes the problem. With all that said, I think we can head on inside. Right as we walk in down here on the base of this wall is the carbon monoxide and LP gas leak detector. It does draw off your batteries when the unit isn't plugged in. So if you don't want your batteries to die on you, I suggest take the negative ends off. Otherwise, winter storage, put them somewhere warmer, put them on a charger. So as we walk up here, you see this panel right here. This is that water heater panel I was talking about that turns on when you flip that switch on the water heater. So that's off, that's on. Change between Celsius and Fahrenheit, and then adjust your water temperature up and down. But for now, we're going to leave that off since there's no water in this unit, and obviously you don't want the water heater running if there's no water. This is your main panel. The password's going to be all zeros. And then down here, you just got a couple light switches. Your water pump switch is right here, so that's how you'll draw water out of your fresh tank and pump to your faucets. And then that's just your battery level. Up top are the tank level monitors showing you how full the fresh, black, gray, and gray tanks are, as well as your fuel tank. I believe that's reading the fuel for your generator. I think that's more useful than reading your auxiliary fill. But anyways, next one is generator. So you prime that for 5 seconds, and then you hold start, and that will fire that generator on. Next is awnings, in and out. Awning lights right here. Turns on the LED strip above the awning. And to run the awnings out, just hold out with your finger. And you can see it starts to move. When it's all the way out, the black flap at the end of the awning is going to be facing straight down. Don't know if we'll be able to get all the way out since there's another unit right here. Ooh, we'll get close. But anyways, there's a black strip at the end that's going to face straight down. The awning's all the way out. Once it is all the way out, then you are good to pitch the awning, which all you got to do is press down right on the bottom of that joint right there. Just pull down, and that'll tip the awning this way. So the water runs off the end and you don't have water pool up on the top of the awning and stretch the canvas out. You can do that on the back side, or you can do it on the front side. Doesn't matter. I just usually like to have the puddle of water away from the front of the unit so I'm not constantly walking through it. And then that back awning works the exact same way. Next, slide outs. So in and out, you just have the wardrobe slide, which is in your bedroom right there. And then you have your sofa slide out, which is right here. And to move those in and out, you just hold the switches. So wardrobe slide in. So we'll just do the sofa since that's easier to see. You can see this starts to slide in. And once it's all the way in, it's just going to stop moving. So that's how you know to let go of the button. And that's all the way in, so we'll let go. I'll do the wardrobe slide. And that is all the way in. So that's kind of what it's looking like with the slides all the way in, but we're running back out. So I actually have space to walk around in here. Any lights that don't go on from this panel are just going to be on these switches scattered throughout the unit. Your smoke alarm is right up here. That does run off a big old battery, so if it does start chirping at you, replace that battery, but the one in it right now is brand new. Alright, so that's slides moving in and out. Next is lights. So this is just the page that has all of the lights on it. So you just tap them to turn them off and tap them to turn them on. Next is hitch. This brings the front jacks up or down. I usually don't use that even because I think it's easier to do it outside so I can actually see what's happening. Next is triggers. Fresh, gray, and black tank. That's just turning the heaters on for those. So if you're camping in the winter, didn't want the tanks to freeze, turn those tank heaters on. Warms the underbelly, keeps those tanks warmer. HVAC is your thermostat. You got your bedroom air conditioner, the main living air conditioner, You might even have one in the garage. It says optional, so I'm just gonna check. Yes, there is one back here. So you got triple AC. And have this nice and cold. But start off with the bedroom. So to turn the air conditioner on, press mode, switch to cool, and then change your fan speed, and then you adjust your temperature here. Won't start unless the temperature is colder than what the zone is already at. It should fire up here in a sec. There it goes. Not terribly loud, which is nice. And turn it off. Just go back to off. The heat for the whole unit is in the main living AC section, so you'll switch to mode to heat. The source is gas, and then you just leave your fan on auto. If you were to turn the fans on, then the AC fans kick on and it's just loud for no reason. You set your temp. And then the furnace kicks on. And then we'll turn that back off. And then we'll do the garage AC. Furnace does run through a cool down cycle, so that doesn't shut off right away. It takes about 5 minutes and it'll turn on. And there's that garage air conditioner. Working nicely. You can also set up a schedule for these so that they turn off after a certain amount of time. So you just set the times from here. Next page is settings. It's going to show you where you can connect to the app, in command app, if you want to do things from your phone. You can connect this panel to the Wi-Fi, change the password, look at your floor plan, and any system notifications as well. Change the date and time, change the language, change the brightness, just a bunch of settings. That should be everything on the panel. So we'll walk up to the bedroom first, I guess. Just FYI, heat comes out of the floors and AC comes out of the ceiling. You got a pedal flush toilet, so step on the pedal here to flush. Your fan goes on with a switch on the wall. Shower doors, make sure that they are latched for travel, so slide them over, lock them in place. Don't want those to slide and shatter on you. Looks like nothing else in here. We'll go to the bedroom. You have wireless chargers in here for your phones, which is nice. Any outlet that is labeled as inverted is what's going to be run from that inverter. The inverter on-off switch is currently not on this unit, actually. They need to order a replacement for it. So that's what that hole in the wall underneath the panel is, and that'll be put on before you have picked it up. So in here, table for the garage, lug nut crank, and just a bunch of extra storage space. So lights that don't go on with switches, like that one for example, you're gonna press on the middle of the light and that will turn it off, like so. We'll walk down here now. Your fire extinguisher will be located next to the door once it's installed. Shades pull down. Just be gentle with them because when you're rough with them, they do break sometimes. Exit windows pushed out like so. And then when you need to escape, pull up on the screen, red tab there. Radio's right here. Power on is there. Zone 1 are these two speakers here. Zone 2 are your speakers outside. And then Zone 3 are your speakers in the garage. For when you're moving your slides, just make sure that this bench is pushed in far enough so the slide doesn't run into it. This couch does have the little pop-out cup holders. You got so like heat and massage down there, and then these black tabs here pull up on those and it'll recline the chairs. For winter storage, make sure that your blinds are in the up position, otherwise they get sun bleached and they don't work as well. You got your burners right here. Flip the glass up. igniters right here. So just twisting once sends spark to all 3 burners in the oven at the same time. So the light, you just push in, turn to the left, spark to the right, and that would light that back burner. Same thing for all 3 burners. The oven's a little different, takes a little longer. So you push in, hold in at this flame marker, and at the same time you'll be using that sparker. So just imagine I'm pushing in on that still. You just keep sparking until you see down here the pilot light come on. Once you see that come on, you're good to open this up to whatever temperature you needed. Up is your panel light, and down is the panel light, as well as the oven light, and then the middle is off. Travel, make sure the glass is down. Don't want that to slam and shatter on you. GFCI is located right there if you need to reset the outlets if they were to trip. Microwave is up here. Pretty self-explanatory on that one. Looks like we got your remotes right here for all your TVs, as well as the radio remote right there. But those are all in one spot. See if we can find your warranty packet right there. So this will have the warranty info, the user manual, and appliance manuals in there as well. And then you also have your Furrion Vision backup camera setup right there. Salesman will walk you through how to use that. It's really simple. They work really well. Got your refrigerator right here, that big residential fridge. If you want to learn more about this, I just suggest to read the manual on it. I mean, it's really just like a fridge at home. So pretend you just bought a new one from Best Buy or something. Down there is your built-in vacuum. So we saw those vacuum hoses earlier sitting in the inside compartment. So you'll stick that vacuum hose in here, turn it on, you can walk around and vacuum. To get to the bag, put your finger in here, push, pull out, and the bag's right there. Only comes with the one bag, so if you were to throw that away, you'll have to buy a new one. So I just suggest to keep reusing it. Take a look at the keys here. These gray keys will be for your compartments. Silver keys are for unlocking the fuel door, and all the black keys are for unlocking your main doors. Walk into the garage. Sounds like I forgot to turn the AC off, so I'll turn that off quickly. Do have the loft up here. The ladder to get up there is sitting right there. That also you can use to get to the top bunks. So you have washer dryer hookups in here. If you want to add washer dryer, you can consult your salesman about that. They should be able to get that done for you. Got your TV back here, and then your controls are all tucked up underneath here. So got a couple of lights, and then your rear awning extend and retract, which is not the one that's back here up here. It is the rear patio awning that sticks out like that. And then you have your bed lift up and down. So that's what moves this. And I'll show you how to use this. So we'll wait for this to come down. I'll show you how to lock the bed in the up position. And currently right now it is in the moving position, so it'll come down with the chairs. You can also stick the bunk all the way up at the roof and then have just the chairs come down while this is moving. Up there is the Winegard prep area, so you can add the Winegard Wi-Fi router if you wanted to. That's going to allow you to get basically a cell plan, but just for your trailer. And that allows you to have a Wi-Fi connection in your unit. You want to add that on, consult the salesman as well. It's almost all the way down. There it is. So to lock the bunk up here, you are going to take your 4 locking pins, and they slide into these holes here, here, and then there are also some on the back side, which I can't really show you with the camera. Maybe I can. I don't know. But they are back there, and so you'll slide those locking pins into there, and that will hold the bunk up. That way you can just have some extra head space, or if you were driving something in here that was taller. So your vents are right here on the corners, and so you just pull in, and then you can push them out to the side like that. If you were having an engine running in here and you wanted to be able to have some ventilation. You have a carpet roll. Sorry, Kimball went crazy there. You got the carpet roll right there, ladder, got a little storage underneath here. We got your patio area, which is really cool. So next I will show you how to set this area up. Okay, so this is what your Raptor is gonna look like folded up. You can lock it from right here, but to open the door, make sure that lock is undone, unlocked I mean, and then you see this yellow strap here. Come back here, pull down. That's gonna unlatch the door. It's a 0G Raptor, so you don't have to worry about it falling down when you pull that latch. But now it's unlocked. All you gotta do, pull the handle. And again, 0G Raptor design by MoRide. It's just gonna come down super smooth. Like, I don't even have to touch it. Comes down so slow. Much nicer than some of these other toy hauler doors, which you just have to bear the full weight. So now the door's down. We got our patio all folded up. We're gonna undo this strap here. This swings out. And this one swings out and clips in down here. And then you'll swing this door like that. Come back over to this side. Start over here. Just kind of start unfolding it. Now this is going to extend out to the corner. And you set it onto this pin down here. Just going to pick up, place it on top. Come over here too. Extend this one. You also have the same pin on this corner. Set that on, and then this leg is also going to clip in down there. And then the door slides on like so. All right, so that's what that looks like all set up. And then you got your awning right up here, and you'll just hold that extend button that we have right here. You just want to make sure you don't go too far, otherwise the awning gets really loose. So just go out until it's taut. So that's about as far as I like to go. I don't like to fully extend these arms because, you know, they're stronger when they're bent like so. But that's about how far I'd go. Covers basically the entirety of the patio. And I'll show you how to throw on these stairs. So hopefully we can get a good angle here. So, you take your stairs, pick them up, bring them over, and then there are two pins here and here. And so you set the steps down on top of them, press down, and that locks them in place. And then you take these folding arms here, and they latch onto these doors. So this is your final product. Now that we've gone over that, we will head over and talk about winterization. So for winterizing, first just make sure that you've drained the black and gray tanks as well as your fresh tank all the way out. Then you're going to come into here, find your winterized connection, pop it open. You're going to turn this to normal flow, and then make sure that winterize is in the on position. You're gonna hook a hose into here and run it into a jug of antifreeze. You probably need 5 to 10 gallons of antifreeze to winterize this unit. Probably closer to 10. But once you have that jug there, place the hose in, turn your water pump on, and it's gonna start drawing straight out of your jug and running into that winterized connection to your faucets. So you'll go individually from faucet to faucet, opening up the hot side of the sink, running until it's completely pink coming out of that side, open up the cold side of the sink, run until it's completely pink coming out of that side. Make sure you get plenty of antifreeze down the drain. Repeat that step at every faucet, including your outside shower, as well as the toilet and the inside shower. Once you've done so, you got pink through the entirety of the inside of the unit. Come to these low point drains, twist them to the open position, and then it's going to start draining antifreeze out the bottom of the unit. Once it's completely pink coming out the bottom, there's no air gaps, there's no water coming out of there. That's, you know, you got antifreeze through the entirety of the lines. Close those low points back off, wait for the lines to pressurize. Once that pump shuts off, so you know you got the lines pressurized and you've gotten antifreeze through the entire thing. Your water heater, you can actually put you can put antifreeze in this, unlike most water heaters. So you'll just let this pressure release valve off. Make sure you get all the water out of here. It's just gonna kind of pool up in here, but all this stuff is meant to get wet, so it doesn't matter. So you just open this up until it's pink coming out of here as well. Once you've done so, just again double check to make sure that all your tank drains are empty and you are all set. It's not a really big deal if you left any antifreeze in your black or gray tanks, because obviously it's not going to freeze anyways. And then there's just one other thing in here, which is your battery disconnect. This is going to cut the power off to your batteries. So if you flip this, pull it out, batteries are cut off. Pushed in, turn to the left, can't pull it out anymore, those batteries are on. So that's what that is used for. Hopefully this video was helpful. If there's any questions you have, please bring them with you to your pickup date. We'd love to get them answered for you. Again, any add-ons you want to do, you can talk to your salesman about getting those put on. But hopefully this video was helpful, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.